All right, guess who I watched? Yeah, another episode of Doctor Who. Um, the War of the Sontarans, or yeah, the War of the Sontarans. Gee, I'm really up to date on that. Really concerned. Um, I'm a night owl. I work evening and overnight shifts, so I caught the basically the repeat. So, but I guess within the consolidated ratings, that would count because I apparently I'm one of the very few people who actually watched the show. Ah, boy, and I mean, Doctor Who remains dead in the States. Don't know how well it fares. It doesn't appear to be faring as well. Certainly not what it once was in the UK, even though that's Britain's pride and joy in pop culture. One of the elements of it anyway. Doctor Who. So yeah. So continuing on with their plan of one story called Flux in 6 parts, which again was probably a wise choice since they're really lacking in material anyway. So there's, and it's not always a wise choice because you got to stretch out your one idea over these parts. But it is a callback to classic Who that was a chaptered series, so provided they got enough to do in the different episodes, it could possibly work out. Because so far, it's an interesting thing. As much as I despise Chibnall's Doctor Who, so for these 2 episodes in, and there's not a lot to be that upset about. There's not much of overall story and plot. It's tease, and it depends on how it ends, whether or not this was worth the trouble. A lot of it is this, oh, look, the Weeping Angels. Oh, look, the Sontarans, and then looks like Cybermen will show up again, too, and all that in the trailers and whatnot. And I'm sure the dialects probably be at the end. But it's feeding you teases and, oh, what's the mystery here and all that sort of stuff. But it has to pay off, and the only payoff anyone wants is like, oh, the Timeless Child was a big lie, and here's the real story, and also this flux business and time distortions and whatnot. You could have an escape hatch somewhere in there and that kind of thing. So it looked like all was over at the last time, but now they wake up. Because now, it could all be a dream, couldn't it? But they wake up and they don't know where they are, and they apparently are in the middle of the Crimean War. Only, oh boy, there's something really different about it. It's the troops are fighting Sontarans. And ultimately, the Sontarans are taking advantage of it. They have a beef with Earth. They've been trying to take it for their... I don't think they mentioned their war with the Routons. But that was the thing. They thought Earth was a strategic position for their ongoing war there. And, of course, they time travel and all that. And so it was a nice little nod to their overall story and getting them back to being villains, So that was nice. It's still comical, but, it happens. And that's all fine and well. They're not really behind what's going on, but they're trying to take advantage of it and all that stuff. Some of the effects they did were okay. They worked out pretty well, where you have the ginormous Sontaran spaceships here dominating different points in time, primarily the Crimean War and current time in Liverpool. Okay, well, whatever, but then don't worry, a temporal implosion wipes that all away, so... basically run this way and run that way and that sort of thing. They get separated. Apparently Dan and Yaz are not in sync with the Doctor in the Crimean War, so Dan goes back to Liverpool, meets up with his parents, and decides he's going to take on the Sontarans, It doesn't end well for him, but fortunately, his best friend, Dogman, or Chewbacca, is like a low-rent Chewbacca, who can speak better, though, by the way, shows up and saves him. Now, it's sort of, oh, look, he's there. How about that? But, he was introduced in the previous episode, and his mission is to protect Dan. So he did his job, I guess. And they go back to the ship, but then they got to destroy that. But that's what causes the temporal implosion that gets rid of the Sontarans. So there you go, nice and tidy. Meanwhile, Yaz goes to this mysterious place that, are these Time Lords, or do they call them, what do they call it, Murrays, or whatever? I guess we'll see. On the planet Time, apparently. Oh, what could that? That the problem I have with this is that these will be the actual people that the Doctor came from, right? And the Doctor actually came from the planet Time. Oh God, don't do that. Unless, of course, they push it to where actually, no, the Doctor did come from Gallifrey and was a Time Lord and all that stuff. This is all stuff done in a time-warped manner. That it's actually the current era of Doctor Who having to do this, and it sets it up or something. Who knows? Hey, we'll find out that actually Yaz was the timeless child. Yeah, I'll take it. But anyway, I think it was, Hills versus Baby. As for Hills versus Babyface refers to this new guy in there as, the low-rent Killmonger. So he's just there. He was some space-traveling guy. He got caught up in the Flux, and so now he's there, stuck with Yaz and the villains, the real villains, whoever they are. So now there's three of them. There's this new mysterious one, big dude, called the Passenger. So who could that be? Is he going to turn out to be? Well, let's see. Who could it be? The Master? Omega? Or the Doctor, is the original Doctor. Oh, the other, with and they're going to turn out to be Rassilon. The other two will be Rassilon and Omega. It's just one of them was female for a while. There you go. Yeah, it's all done now. God, please don't do that. But the Passenger, I get, or nothing, but anyway, things like that. But other than that, it's just going through the motions of there's not really much of a story. It's just the Doctor's got to figure out how to deal with the Sontarans and actually she doesn't. It's Dogman who actually saves the day by crashing his ship and warping them out of there. Meanwhile, in the Crimean War, there was this moment, which is this terrible ethic that's been there even in the Moffat era, where you had the Doctor lecturing victims of mass murder. So this commander, she doesn't get along with him, and they don't get along with each other, and all this stuff. He's from the time of the Crimean War, so of course he's not going to listen to some strange woman telling him how to run a war, and all this stuff. And God knows what's going on, why they don't remember who they really are, why they think the Sontarans are just the real enemy. They don't even notice that there's these alien guys with ray guns and all that. And no. She's still going to dump all over him. But it's very similar to when they basically redid the same plot of the 50th special with the Zygons returning, and in the end, the Doctor lectures the humans who killed no one. The bad Zygons did, but no, how dare you, And then there was that god-awful episode, Smile, with the killer robots, and then the people wake up to find out that their family had been massacred by them and everything, and the Doctor, they're a sentient species. Who are you to judge them? And it's like, you asshole, get in your blue box and get the hell out of here and don't come back. But you make the Doctor do that and think that that's some sort of ethical standpoint. It's the opposite of it. It's really awful. And actually, in those instances, it was rather worse than here. But, I mean, the Doctor had managed to, get the Sontarans would retreat. And then, the commander comes in and slaughters them. But, I mean, it's like, she's like, Yeah, how dare you're the type of man who makes me want to give up on humanity and all this stuff. And then the historical figure is there. She reminds the doctor, "Oh yes, that's right. There's good and bad in everybody, you know." But I, what he did was understandable given the circumstance. So whatever. But calling up Smile and the Zygon episodes, like, those are actually a little worse than this one. So, but it's just kind of the same idea. So anyway, yeah. Other than that, can't really say it was an awful episode. It's just sort of there, you know. So, but what would the payoff be? That's the thing. What if these end up being really good, and then the payoff is timeless child crap, and then leaves it like that, and tries to paint the whole thing into an even smaller corner, making RTD's job that much tougher. Maybe, I don't know, because it's already burnt down at this point. So there it is. It's a second episode of the current season of Doctor Who, and that's about it. So is that going to make them show up since Les apparently watched it than the last one, which was pretty bad? No, I don't think so. But anyway, there you go. Doctor Who. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness. So many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.